want to keep on doing it. We're doing a live demo today. I figure live would be best. You know, you can see it in action, and that's how we roll. So what we're gonna do, I'm gonna put this on here real quick. Get this rolling. I'll try to keep an eye out for anybody's questions or comments in the chat. Let's see. Trying to level up the phone here, if I can. It's questionable. Let me try pulling this down. There we go. Okay. So it's going to be a little shaky, but we're going to be able to vacuum the floors. It's going to be a little interesting, a little tough. Because, probably a little bit more. Yeah, because it's going to go. Yeah. Go up a little bit. We'll figure out how this works. Here we go. Give me one more moment, folks. All right, I think we're good. I think we're ready to roll. Here in just a moment. Okay, we'll start vacuuming here. far, pretty good. As you can tell, pretty clean floors. Let me respond to some of the comments here. Now, Tim Smith is wondering, did an Oregon duck lay an egg? And there's some stains, all right? There's a little bit of stains. You're going to see how this thing operates. Here we go. Let's rock it. limp. Now, I'll read the comments here in a little bit, but let's take a look at some of the dart. It's a little limp at the moment, but that's okay. Take this off so you can remove this pretty easily. As see some of the dart. Here we go. Let me do a quick cracker test here. So I'm a little low on just about everything. Here's a little test though to make sure that it's still sucking things. So it didn't get as much dirt as I thought, but here we go. See, we're gonna do a little scatter test. So one way to tell if it's still getting things, we're gonna do a scatter test, and make sure. I'll read some of the comments here in a second, you guys. Hold on. I'll read some of the comments here. Oh, we'll get there. Hold on. Well, these comments are fantastic. Here we go. Let's take a quick gander. All right, let's take a look at the comments. What do we got here? Some fantabulous. Oh, hold on. That's barely on here. That should be good. All right, so. Whew. Okay, let's take a quick look. Actually, you know what? We'll just chill out here on the bed. Oh, it's a little hot. Too hot to do vacuuming right now. But that's okay. Let's see. 80 Rad or Not says hi. What up, dude? And then Tim Smith says, "What is that stain? Did an Oregon duck lay an egg on the carpet?" You know the answer to that, Tim. I put please like and subscribe for good. Please like the video for good health. Make sure you guys like the video, please. It does help the channel grow. It allows us to go cray cray on the algorithm. Yeah, I just got the vacuuming done. I'm a little sweaty right now. Like that person that called me a tweaker. I'm too fat to be a tweaker. If I am a tweaker, I'm the fattest tweaker of them all. Free Sample says I am watching this from the toilet with diarrhea. I am laughing so hard it's making the diarrhea spray out with every laugh. Hell yeah. Thank you, partner. That's the number one comment of the day, maybe of the year so far. I mean, Tim's got a lot of good comments, but Free Samples might have just delivered the highest, the best sample out there. Let's see what else we got. Chris Rivera says meth head vacuuming, typical tweaker. Yep. Let's see. Master says hi. Cannabis says why. You missed a spot, says old school. Yeah, you know, I mean, honestly, look, I probably missed a couple of spots. I was trying to, I was a little focused. I will do a finish up job here pretty soon, but I'm next to my ball. But yeah, overall, just it's good stuff, man. Very good stuff. And I had to get the carpets vacuumed. I realized I hadn't vacuumed in like 3 weeks. Usually, I vacuum at least once every 2 weeks at the bare maximum. I should not at the bare maximum, but at maximum, typically 2 weeks. So it was crazy when I realized I was like, dude, it's been like 3 weeks since I vacuumed, and I was like, dude, that's awful. Now, I'm one of those guys that I love to vacuum, man. I'm a vacuum kind of guy. Hold on, yeah. Whoa, my ball. Bouncing my ball real quick. All right, almost did on the yoga ball real quick. Oh, let me put on the little light real quick. Oh, here we go. Whew. Let's continue the stream and just put the camera right here. We'll call it good. Oh boy. See, Ultra Fire says fun guy. yeah, dude. Oh, I'm having a blast right now. Just a little bit exhausted right now. Sweating up a storm though. It is definitely humid here on the coast of Oregon right now. And hey, make sure you guys like the video though. The more likes we get, the better. Helps the channel grow in so many ways. Ultra Fire says I got the same Shark vacuum. What a beast, dude. Ultra Fire's on the right path in life. Hell yeah. But yeah, no, sweaty as hell right now. I look like a total wig. You know, like, I like to rap because I'm a wig. I'm not going to say the full word, though, just in case. But I'm going to have some of this grocery outlet water here. Oh, I have each window open, but it's still, especially when you're vacuuming, man, it super heats the house. It feels like, oh man. But hell yeah, dude, my boy's got the same Shark vacuum. What a beast. I plan on doing some real reviews tonight, though. Some regular, standard, good, sexy reviews. Oh man, but yeah, it was fun. I thought about it, and I was like, well, I got to vacuum the floor, so I was like, well, why don't we experiment? As you know, this show's all about throwing paint at the walls and trying new things. You know, while I talk about investing primarily, it is fun to see what one can do. You know. got the haircut recently. It's fairly even, but not the. I don't really look the greatest no matter what, but I try. No, it's a good vacuum though, man. Seriously, one of the better ones. My apologies, gang. I am exhausted. I am probably going to bed at a pretty early time tonight. It's what I'm thinking, so I can at least get enough sleep. But I definitely need to do a few more videos tonight. And but yeah, the Shark Vacuum, man, is a really good product. If you guys are curious, there is a link in the description below. If you guys have access to the description, that is from where you're watching. But yeah, in the description below, you can actually purchase one of those Shark vacuums. And if it's out of stock, then there's still other ways to get a hold of it. I don't know all the ways, but I do know there are ways. So that's the most important thing to know. But yeah, I am. Well, I will say that that vacuum, man, it's powerful. Pumps out a lot of hot air. Um, Pretty crazy, actually. Pretty damn wild. But make sure you guys like the video, though. The more likes we get, the better. It helps disperse this channel across the algorithm, so it gets the show gets a little more eyeballs if that happens. So, much appreciated. But yeah, I'm sweaty as balls right now, like super sweaty. I had these grocery outlet water bottles still left over from the last trip, so I was like, yeah, I could drink these. Even though I like drinking out of my water drop filter, this stuff's pretty good too. Yeah, that's good stuff, man. But yeah, it's the vacuum behind me. It's a solid product. One of the better vacuums out there, man. If I do say so myself. But you just have to give me a minute. I gotta close my eyes for just a second. Yeah, I had a little bit of a migraine today. It was really weird. I think it's honestly because it's a little dusty in here. I didn't do the dishes either, so I ended up doing those. That was something that really needed to be done. But yeah, I made sure I got everything I needed done to be done, and it feels good. Feel pretty accomplished too as a result. But I am spent. Sorry, you guys. I need a few more moments just to chill. But yeah, check out the link in the description below. And if you don't want that product, if you want to support the channel, I am an Amazon associate. So the more, people either like the videos or if they check out the affiliate links, I may earn a small commission from qualifying purchases, which is really dope, by the way. I love it. So the more people who purchase, the better. And it definitely helps. Let's see. Joy Boy is asking, would you rather watch a tree grow or and I'm not going to finish that, by the way. I refuse to finish that sentence. James Tibron says, one time I did a poo on my neighbor's doorstep and blamed it on my autistic dog. That is a great story. Let's see. Joy Boy says, "Do you like Ray?" I'm not gonna say that. No, I'm cool with whatever, man. Whatever people believe in, I don't really give a shit. I don't care if it's hateful. I don't care if it's joyful. I just want people to believe in whatever they want to believe in. I've got no right to control others. I think we live in a world where everybody's trying to control what other people think, what other people do, and it's not a good thing, man. Yeah, I think freedom for all matters. James Gibran says, "Have you heard of the footballer?" Oh, I've heard of that one. It's a good one, man. Stocks Family Farm, my boy TJ. What's going on, partner? Good evening, sir, is what my man says. And it's a pretty fine evening right now. I just demonstrated my vacuum. I was like, you know what? I want to live stream my vacuum cleaning. I was like, why the hell not? Like I always say, I like to, I like to, what do you call it? What is the term? I like to throw. I really do like throwing paint at the walls, though, trying different things. So it's very, very fun. Let's see. Jangle says, you look like the cross-eyed guy from Waterboy. I love that guy. I do kind of have a weird look to me, but yeah, very moist right now. Very, very moist. I love the word. I know there's a lot of people who hate the word moist, but my God, dude, is that one word that just gets me a bone cone? I think I just like it because everybody hates it. But hell yeah. But yeah, make sure you guys like the video. Subscribe to the channel, man. I'm sorry I'm so exhausted right now, you guys. I am just a little bit burnt out at the moment. So James Stabron says, where are you from, my man? I'm from the coast of Oregon. I'm on the coast of Oregon, G-Dog. It's fun to be live streaming with all you guys. I figured I'm straight up just on my phone right now as live streaming, so it's pretty fun. James DeBron said I've subscribed. Thank you, bud. I appreciate you, man. Let's see. My boy TJ says, I'm at the campground right now, about to head home. Just checking in to show love. Hey, I appreciate it, my brother. I appreciate that big time. No, that's huge. I love it when you're. I love it when TJ goes live, man. That's so sick. I watch. Sometimes it sucks because when TJ's going live, sometimes I've got something kind of crazy going on, where I'm like working on something. I try because I do enjoy watching his videos like every now and then. I saw one where he was where my boy TJ was at the post office, which was pretty sick. I think it was like a slow day and he was just chilling. I didn't get to watch too much of that, but it was pretty cool though. Let's see. James DeBron says, I've subbed. Nice lad from Manchester, England. Hell yeah, dude. You're all the way from frickin' England? My man, dude. James DeBron, all the way from the UK. Holy shit. That is a turn on. No, I'm just kidding. But no, hell yeah, dude. Get it, brother. Get it. Viewing all the way from the UK, man. I appreciate you, dog. Thank you. Richard says, tell us a joke. There was a young lady from Venus whose body was shaped like a penis. That's all I know. I don't know the full joke to that. Let's see. Stocks Family Farm says, thanks, man. I'm headed out. Let's get together sometime. Have a great night. Hell yeah, brother. One of these times, let's see. I don't know if I'll be able to. So I gotta watch after the cats. My girlfriend's cats on Saturday, but because her and her family are going on a bit of a trip, they have some family business to take care of, and so I will probably be. I won't be able to go to like the the anti-Trump rally or anything like that, because I gotta. I mean, I don't know. We all got probably different stuff going on Saturday, but if you find that you're gonna be going to one of those rallies, man, I might have a beer with you beforehand. If you find out that you're gonna go to one of those, that is. Yeah, if not, no big deal. I mean, the weather's been so good on Saturday. I don't even think we should be at those anti-Trump rallies. They're just so ridiculous, man. Those rallies, it's mainly just boomers, dude. It's a boomer fest, like at those anti-Trump rallies. And a lot of them are just afraid their social security checks are gonna run dry. But whatever. I get it. So it's a legitimate fear. You know. But yeah, it's good to see my boy TJ on. Hell yeah. TJ says, sounds good, brother. Talk to you soon. Hell yeah, man. Hell yeah. You guys, by the way, check out Stocks Family Farm. That's my boy TJ's channel. He's got some cool stuff on there. Make sure you guys subscribe if you can, and also like as many videos of his as you can. I think he's got a more interesting channel than mine, because I think he covers more variety. I'm very one dimensional. I'm kind of a one trick pony, because I usually do a lot of shock humor and talk about investing way too much. I'm autistic. I'm autistic Warren Buffett. Actually, I think Warren Buffett might be autistic, so who knows? But I'm autistic Warren Buffett, dude. That would be a fun name to say. But yeah, man, invest. Got to invest, man. But hey, good to see you at Stocks Family Farm, my man. I was thinking. Hold on, I crack my neck a little. Yeah, I think I might head to bed here pretty soon. It was good to get the place all vacuumed up, though. Oh, yeah. Yeah, make sure you guys check out the affiliate links in the description. It does help the channel out quite a bit. And we're always still trying to find ways to grow and, do what we got to do. So it's always appreciated. Ultrafire says, sorry, I'm not involved at the moment in the chat. I'm eating dinner. Oh, hey, dude. It's never a problem, brother. Uh, I'll tell you what. I tell you what, though. I do expect more out of myself than anybody in the chat. So I expect a lot out of myself. And the reason I do that is, one, I want to be a good example to everybody. I think if I expect a lot out of myself, people can see that, and then they'll start expecting as much as they can from themselves. So, yeah, I don't expect anything from anybody in the chat. I expect more out of me than I do out of you guys. So, I'm just here to serve and entertain in any way I can, because it is fun to help. I enjoy giving a little bit of a lighthearted, relaxing show whenever I can. I think that's important to do. How long do you guys think I can actually stabilize on this ball? Oh. So here we go. Ready? All right. Hold on. All right. Oh. Not as long as I thought I could. gotta relax, man. I gotta relax. Sorry, you guys, that winded me. I was playing a little bit of basketball earlier, so I'm a little more exhausted than I anticipated. But work waits for no one. I had to make sure I got everything around the house looking good. Probably drink a little pomegranate juice before bed. I think that'll kind of cleanse out the soul, cleanse out the body. As you all know, huge pomegranate juice fan up in the house. One thing I do need to purchase here pretty soon is actually more Scrub Daddies. I think it's not too late to do on a Walmart run. I might though. I might just go get some Scrub Daddies from Walmart real quick. But honestly, I could save that for another day. My Scrub Daddy's still working. It's all good. And I got backup sponges if I get desperate. So we good. But yeah, man, I'm really excited. I hit the 41 total product reviews so far on the YouTube channel, which is huge for me, by the way, because it gives me more of a chance to reach a larger audience, and really want to reach the largest audience I can. So we'll do whatever it takes, man. Whatever it takes. Yeah, I kind of want to encourage people to get the Shark vacuum, and I want to encourage people to check out the link below because, like I said, I get a small commission. It supports the channel, but you can get a pretty good vacuum at a decent price, which is the key. They have a lot of good ones too, especially on Amazon. And if vacuums don't suit your if vacuums don't do it for you, I do have plenty of links that allow you to see the type of equipment I use for my overall studio. So that way you guys know how I, what's the word? How I produce the show, I think it's important. I like showing people just how I do things, So that way they get a pretty firm understanding of what's going on, That matters. And I'm so happy, though, this room is so empty right now. I know people are like people. I think overcrowd with stuff. You know what I mean? I'm very much a minimalist at this point in my life. The less stuff I own, the happier I feel. Like that's the real truth. And yeah, it's pretty dope. And yeah, can't help it, man. That's just the way I'm wired. Yeah, I'm trying to keep my focus, you guys. I'm still staying hydrated, it's kind of cooling me off a little bit, but yeah, definitely gotta drink the old pomegranate juice. There we go. That hits the spot. Oh, man. Well, if anybody's in the chat, man, feel free to interact. I always like to answer questions. Galactic God says, gotta stay hydrated. Abso-freaking-lutely, brother. Always stay hydrated. Man, I'll tell you, I try not to overhydrate, but right now I feel like super depleted. So more water, the better sometimes. There are just times where if you're sweating a lot, just gotta It's a good way to kind of purify the body a little bit, you know. I need to kind of create my own little sauna. You can actually, in a weird way, create like your own miniature sauna, and I'm not recommending anybody do this, but technically, you could make a mini sauna out of plastics. Like you could take like line a bunch of garbage bags, maybe make like a rectangular area or something like kind of like a it'd be rectangular, but it would be very tall, I guess. And you would just walk into it. It'd be very loosely made. It'd be almost like a greenhouse to a degree. And the whole idea would be to, keep it super insulated, but it would get so hot in there that you would have no choice but to sweat everything out. I don't recommend anybody build one themselves. I think it's best to just kind of maybe purchase an actual sauna. They have mini saunas, by the way. It's not like it's impossible to buy one. They're pretty expensive, though. That's the problem. Um, so sometimes it's best to just have like a membership to a place that does have a sauna. Like for instance, they got like the Bay Area Athletic Club around here they got their own sauna. They even got a swimming pool, which is crazy. That's the one thing like Planet Fitness doesn't have is they don't have a swimming pool as far as I know. So, yeah. So Galactic God's all about the Propel hydration drinks. Those are pretty tasty, man. I like those. I haven't had one in a while, but they're pretty good. That'd be a good review actually. Let's see. Kevin Melankin says buy a boat. BAB. Okay. Buy a boat. It's good advice, I think. I'm not sure. Take it under advisement. um, no, I think owning a boat. I mean, it'll get kind of expensive after a while. You know what I mean? Like boats, any maintenance, it's almost like a house. You know, a house needs maintenance as well. But I don't know. Let's see. Zandex says, okay, so Omega says Satan is Lord. Okay, well, Zandex says, what's up, Garza? Zandex, man, I am doing my thing, being a freakosaurus and drinking a little water. Have some bottled water left over from a trip that I was on, and yeah. What up with you, Mr. Zandex? How you doing, G? And then Stroham says, WTF. Okay. WTF to you as well. Let's see. Galactic God says, my apartment complex has a sauna, but I've never used it. Not sure if it's cleaned often. LMAO. Well, yeah. Gotta clean your sauna, man. Kevin Melican says, gotta get a yak. A yak boat? Alright. I'll make note of that, actually. I have my handy dandy notebook. I bought more of these little mini composition notebooks. That is not my notebook. Well, that's not the one that currently has notes in it. Hold on. Here it is. This is the one that's got notes in it. So you're saying a yak boat? By the way, handwritten notes are superior, by the way. I know we live in a world of AI, blah, 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 but critical thinking still matters. And to help you critically think, you should always be writing notes down. Write down your thoughts. Don't journal about your life, because that's fucking gay. I'm just talking about if you have creative thoughts. Incredible thoughts. Incredible. No, let's see here. But yeah, yak boat, huh? A yak boat. Yakety yak. Don't talk back. Yakety yak. Yakety yak. Let's see. Omega says, I'm trolling, right? I don't actually believe that. Get it, whatever you believe in, brother. Cad Bids asks, ever do cocaine? The answer to that is no. I will never do that shit. You wanna know why? Because it's freaking dumb. It is dumb as shit to do that. Worst drug ever. Let's see. Galactic God says boats are like having a pool in the backyard. Sounds awesome until you see how much maintenance they require. Exactly. And I'm a very low maintenance kind of guy. And I also like a lot of the stuff in my life to be fairly low maintenance as well. I don't like high maintenance anything. Um, and if it does require maintenance, I better be able to maintain it or have somebody else maintain it at a reasonable cost. Like my car, I prefer to have somebody maintain it because it's a pretty good car. I don't want, I'd rather have somebody else F it up than me F it up, if that makes sense. But Yak Boat, interesting. Yeah. Galactic God says, have a good night, my friend. Hey, Galactic God, by the way, I got a favor to ask. If you ever purchase on Amazon and there's anything you want to purchase, uh, you know, take a look at some of the affiliate links in some of my videos. If there's any product that I review that seems interesting to you, purchase only if you want it, though. Purchase only if you want it. I only like to encourage people to purchase the products they actually want, but because I get a small commission. And I'm trying to grow the channel. At least I'm trying to grow my affiliate presence, at least, if that makes sense. But it's a tough one. But you don't have to. Nobody has to, in fact. I don't want to put that pressure on anybody. I want people to feel like they could decline that if they want to. I don't like asking those sorts of favors. I feel uncomfortable asking those types of favors, actually. So, kind of... Anyway, I'm not going to... Let's see. Levi Dalton says, hey, what up, Levi? Make sure you guys like the video, by the way. Let's see. Marion Cross says, sing us a country song, You're Handsome, Man, You. Okay. Well, I am... thank you for saying I'm handsome. I really appreciate that. But let me sing a song for all the men. It's raining men. Hallelujah, it's raining men. Hey, hey. No, but what's a good song here? My life is brilliant. My love... I could actually sing like a country song. My life is brilliant. My love is pure. I saw an angel. Of that I'm sure. She smiled at me on the subway. She was with another man. Now, it kind of feels like whenever I try to sing country, whenever I try to sound like a country singer, it definitely comes out like Scott Stapp's Creed. So it's definitely a big thing. Developing Michael Saylor to purchase a new yacht. Oh my God. Michael Saylor with all that grifter Bitcoin money. And probably with all that shareholder money that he gets from issuing new shares, is going to buy himself a mega yacht because he believes he's the Bezos of Bitcoin. I firmly think that Michael Saylor's so delusional that he thinks he's like the Jeff Bezos of Bitcoin, or he thinks he's the fucking Bill Gates or the Steve Jobs of Bitcoin. You know what I mean? Michael Saylor is that effing delusional. That's what Tim Smith is saying, though, developing Michael Saylor to purchase a new yacht. Yeah, of course Michael Saylor would. I doubt the validity of this article. But let's see. But I got to compete now with Michael Saylor. I got to get a mega yacht and I got to compare myself to Michael Saylor every day. That's hard. Levi Dalton says, what would you do first with $1 million? That's a very good question. Well, one thing I would do with $1 million is I would turn it into a zillion. And then from a zillion, I'd turn it to quadrillion. No. No, for what I would do with $1 million, I would invest. Truth be told, I would... That's a good question. I would put... See, the funny thing is, it's really tough to figure out what to do with $1 million when you really have to think about it, because it does end up being quite a big quantity, but really... So what I would do, $1 million... I would probably have $100,000 just sitting in my checking account, just to be there for whatever, whenever. So, this is how I'd allocate $1 million, all right? If I had $1 million. $100,000 into checking, I would just keep it there, use it for whatever, and if I need to replenish my checking account, I can take it from one of my brokerage accounts. I don't even think I would have a. I don't think I would have a high yield savings account. Maybe I would actually. Hold on, let me rephrase that. So I think what I would do is I would put $100,000 into checking. 50. This is not financial advice, by the way. This is what I would do. $50,000 would be in a high yield savings account. All right, so we've already figured out what we're doing with 150. That's $150,000 down into the drain. I'm just kidding. So yeah, $100,000 into checking. Actually, scratch that. Let's actually reverse that. $50,000 into checking at all times. There has to be at least around 50,000 in checking at all times. 100,000 actually would end up being in the high yield savings account. So that's what I would do with it. And then, what else would I do? Let's take a look here. Oh, hold on. Marion Cross says, "Sounds like Creed." Absolutely, dude. Every time I try to do country, it sounds like I'm trying to do like some sort of Creed song, like "With arms wide open and under the sunlight, welcome to this place. I'll show you everything." All right, let's see. Levi Dalton just says, "Bro just created a new genre." So Creed country could be a genre because you could just add a southern twang to the Creed. Like, I'll give you an example. Like, let me think of a country song that everybody knows. Every little thing you do, I'm so in love with you. It just keeps getting better. See, I try to add the southern twang while also singing like this. It's very tough. It's not easy, man. It's not easy. It makes me cry. Makes me sound like Jordan Peterson. Let's see. But yeah, just create a new genre. Absolutely. Tim Smith says, "Breaking." Martin Shkreli refers to Michael Saylor as drunk. Hell yeah. Michael Saylor is a drunk, and he's also my biological stepdad. Tim Smith also says, "New. Garza has red hair, matching the MicroStrategy logo. Experts confirm." I do. So it's funny because by all technicality, so I am blonde for the most part. But as I get older, I notice that my hair is turning into a more strawberry blonde. So that's a real thing, man. So I do have strawberry blonde hair. That is a real thing. I'm a part Irishman, so it makes sense. But I'm also part Hispanic. So it's like I'm a smorgasbord of different races, man. But yeah, no. So if we were going back to the $1 million allocation, the $1 million question is, what would I do with $1 million? Well, first off, like I said, I would put $50,000 into checking, $100,000 into a high yield savings account that has a decent yield, maybe like 3.6%. Basically, it's just a high yield, as close as you can get to the highest yield out there. But put it in reputable high yield savings accounts, or just one high yield savings account, one or the other. Chicago West says, "I have a question." Hey, let it fly. He lets it fly. Lisa O says, "Strawberry." Chicago West asks, "Do you want to have a slumber party in my basement?" The question I want to ask is, how much are you willing to pay me to have a... What kind of question is that? Jesus Christ. All right, anyway, so we're at $50,000, $100,000. So that's how I would start the allocation, is figure out, well, how much would I need in my checking just to have, you know what I mean? And then how much would I keep in a high yield savings account? So we figure that out. So now the rest of this money is going to be highly allocated towards actual assets. Now, as much as I don't mind holding on to cash, I do prefer to actually have a lot of this money in other things. So I would immediately start investing as soon as I could. So I know what I want to invest in, but I'm gonna start with what I would least want to invest in. That's what I would start with. So the one that I least like to invest in would be bonds. So, but I like diversification, so I want to be exposed to U.S. and international bonds. So I would have a combination of U.S. and international bonds, whether it's corporate bonds, whether it's What are those other terms that we got out? Corporate bonds, municipal bonds, government bonds, etc. So I'd have a combination of U.S. and international for those, and there would just be ETFs. I mean, that would be the only way I would. This is, in my opinion, the best way to stay diversified in the bond markets is through exchange traded funds that expose you to indexes of bonds. And I would say, and that if I were to combine those two, I'd probably put $200,000 towards those, because as much as I love stocks and as much as I love commodities, there is kind of a relief to a guaranteed yield or an almost guaranteed yield. And if you're diversified in US and international bonds and you are pretty much in ETFs that expose you to that, I'm not going to guarantee everything's going to be peachy, but you're going to have pretty good yields and everything will be pretty nice. Let's see, hold on. So Chicago West says, thank you, great content for my TikTok. I appreciate you, Chicago West. Hey, I'm going to be TikTok famous, man, before I'm YouTube famous, unfortunately. Because my content's surprisingly clippable. Not in a good way, though. In a way that it's pretty fun to make fun of me. Lisa O says, would you put some in your mattress? Invest in bonbons. What is a bonbon? Shake a bonbon, shake a bonbon, shake a bonbon. But what the frick is a bonbon? Let's see. CK says downs. Yeah, I do look like I have a little bit of an extra chromosome going on here. Lisa O says, welcome to Fantasy Island. Hell yeah. All right, anyway, so this is what I would do with $1 million. We're going to keep continuing. So combination of U.S. and international bonds, I would funnel $200,000 into that. So now we've already figured out what we would do with $350,000 so far. We're almost there. We're halfway there. Whoa, living on a prayer. Now, this is where it gets interesting. So I've already exposed myself to the entire bond market to the best of my ability using ETFs. Now I want to expose myself to a variety of commodities. This is where it gets interesting. Now, I would want to expose myself to like things like gold and silver, but it is a lot easier to do this on an ETF basis. And now what do I mean by ETF basis? Well, instead of me physically holding the gold, I would have an ETF that's an exchange traded fund that exposes me to the commodity itself, right? Now, I would avoid master limited partnerships because those are so flipping annoying. Seriously, those are annoying. So I avoid anything that has a master limited partnership, and I just look for ones that expose me to like just the actual assets themselves, the actual commodities. But Raymond Schaefer is saying, good stream. Hell yeah, thank you, Raymond. I appreciate you, jog. Lisa O says, expose yourself? Yeah. Max Jensen asks, what do you look for in a man? What do I look for in a man? I look for anybody who can sound like Scott Stapp. He's got to sound like this when he's banging me from behind. Like that. And then he's got to sound like Scott Stapp. That's really the only requirement. And he's got to make more money than me. I'm just kidding. No, but it's just got to sound like Scott Stapp, dude. And if I were a gay man, that's what I would go for. But it's a good question, Max. I appreciate that. Tim Smith says, I gave Lisa her O. Before me, she was just Lisa. Oh. My God. Tim is a stud. Tim is a studly man. I love Tim. Tim is the best. Let's see. Max Jensen says best answer to that question. More to Life.J says start before it's late, brother. Hey man, I've been investing for a while, but hey, let's keep finishing up this hypothetical. Hypotheticals like this are really good, by the way. Because it forces you to think, well, if I did have $1 million, what the hell? How would I allocate it? You know what I mean? So, I would say $200,000 in U.S. and international bonds through ETFs. Now, commodities is where it gets really tricky, right? Because I actually say $200,000 into commodities, but I would split it a little bit. So, 200,000, right, into commodities, and it would be, so I would have a variety of no K1s. I hate K1 forms, so I avoid them. No K1 form ETFs that expose me to a variety of commodities. I'm writing this down here real quick. Okay, so exposes me to a variety of commodities. That's really good. Okay, cool. Now, I'd probably put like $100,000 into those ETFs because I would get pretty equal exposure to all sorts of cool commodities, which would be good. And now, that'd be $100,000 that would go to those ETFs. Now, the other $100,000, this is where it gets really interesting. I would probably get physical gold. I would probably split the $100,000 into silver and gold purchases. That's what I would do at least. And then I would I would invest in a very effing sturdy safe. Or alternatively, instead of me buying a safe, I would have the gold or silver held safely. But I don't really know. I don't really know the best way to approach that, if that makes sense. But yeah, I would definitely have a really good safe, and then have like $100,000 worth of gold and silver. Because I want to own the physical commodities, but I also do love the diversification of commodities through a lot of these different ETFs out there. So I would go $100,000 into a diversified portfolio of ETFs that are commodity based, and then $100,000 into silver and gold, physical silver and gold that I could touch, I could have, I could put in a safe, that sort of thing. So now we've already figured out what we would do. We're already up to $550,000 out of this million. So now where does the rest of it go? So we've already covered the basis. We put $100,000 into a high yield savings account. We put $50,000 into a checking account. We put $200,000 into U.S. and international stocks. We put $200,000 into a variety of commodities, basically. And so we figured out, so we have $450,000 left to go. Mortalife.j says, no, you talk too much. Get your body right and go get some cat sitting in the house all day. Ain't gonna do it. I'm in shape. Look at that. I'm a big boy, dude. I'm like 6'2". I'm a tall dude. Let's see. Dallas Brady says, do you know anything about the Bible? Yeah, I know a few things. I know a few quotes. I do need to read the whole book, though. Mad Hatter asks, why do you think gold and silver is valuable? One, gold and silver have utility. Are you kidding me? I mean, I'm not trying. I should not answer that in such a mean way. But no, here's the thing: gold and silver actually have usefulness in reality. So this is one of the things. Like Bitcoin's useless, right? Bitcoin has no use in reality. It's not even backed by anything that's valuable. But gold and silver, they have utility and usefulness in reality. One of the reasons why gold and silver continue to rise in value over time is because, one, the dollar ain't worth jack because it's not backed by anything. All currencies eventually go to zero if they're not backed by any sort of commodity. So that's just the way it works. So one of the reasons I don't really like to save dollars is simply because the dollar is worthless. It's not backed by anything. So I will always hold on to stocks. I will always hold on to bonds, even though they're not really inflation proof. And I will always hold on to commodities. Big time. Those are my three things. Also, I will say this: real estate doesn't sound like such a bad idea. Um, Tim Smith says, "Be right back. Getting more rum. Hell yeah." Tim Smith is taking some shots of rum. My man, dude. All else is do know how to tweak. Tweak? I don't know what you mean by that, brother. Let's see. Mad Hatter, if you take away electronics, what function does it actually do other than metal? Other than be a metal? Well, I mean, it is a good conductor. So, I mean, you take it away for electronics. Let's see. You could use it in jewelry. It's malleable. That's kind of nice. You can actually cut it pretty easily. Um, but outside of it, really is just used as a conductor primarily. But it's very pretty. Like I said, it can be used in jewelry. Um, it can be used in tools to some degree, but if it's gold plated, that's kind of cool, I guess. But I don't know. I can't think of too many other usefulness. I mean, like gold is useful one way or another. People will always be seeking gold, one way or another. So gold can be rare, but also it really does matter. Janice sent a makeup brush. Really? What the heck? So I got a virtual gift on here. I don't know what this means. It's a makeup brush. What is that? 6 joules. Is it like a virtual gift? I don't know really I don't know too much about virtual gifts, to be honest. I know they're enabled on this channel, but that's really cool. I appreciate it, Janice. Thank you. But yeah, overall, like I said, $200,000 into a variety of commodities. So now we have to figure out what to do with the rest. Now, a part of me would want to be exposed to certain sectors. I do want to be exposed to everything I can. So here's what I would do. The rest of this money, the $450,000 is all of that money would end up going towards U.S. and international stocks. That's what it would do. So U.S. stocks, international, blah, blah, blah. Now, I also want to say real estate is another thing that I would want to be exposed to. So, in a sense, here's what I would do instead. Instead of $450,000, I'm just going to do $400,000, all right, into U.S. stocks and international stocks. And I would be exposed through a variety of ETFs, a variety of international stock ETFs, a variety of U.S. stock ETFs. But I would also buy individual stocks on top of this, probably buy about a share at a time, but just make sure that I'm consistently diversified across all spectrums there. So the goal is put $400,000 into. I'd probably split it fairly evenly, actually. I'd probably do $200,000 into U.S. stocks, and that'd be a combination of ETFs and individual stocks, and then the international stocks would be $200,000 as well. It just strictly international stock ETFs because it's a lot easier to get exposed to get exposure to international companies through those exchange traded funds. So that's pretty much what I would do there. Now, the last but not least, I want to get exposure to real estate, but I don't actually want to buy any real estate of my own. It's a lot easier to rent, especially when your portfolio pays for your entire existence. You know what I mean? So at that point, I would actually put $50,000 into a variety of REITs. Now, what type of REITs we talk? Any real estate investment trust, real estate investment trust ETFs, individual stock real estate investment trust, you name it. I would make sure that I get access to every single REIT that I can. I'd buy one share of every REIT that I like. I'd buy one share of every ETF that I could get a hold of. The goal is to be exposed up the arse to real estate investment trusts because they have really good yields. decent yields, but they have good dividend growth, and they also do appreciate in value over time. And its exposure to real estate, which honestly over time appreciates pretty well. And a lot of these REITs do really well over time. It's also just good to be diversified in general. So instead of me going out and buying a house, which I think would be a horrible investment, by the way, I would rather just buy REITs because it doesn't. I wouldn't have to borrow any money. So there we go. We figured out $50,000 worth of variety of REITs. $400,000. We'll split that across. So $200,000 would go into a variety of U.S. stocks in ETFs and stuff, and then $200,000 would go into international stocks through purely ETFs, pretty. And then of course, $200,000 would go into commodities primarily. And then let's see, $200,000 would go into U.S. and international bonds, and then $100,000 would go into a high yield savings account, and $50,000 would go into a standard checking account, and then boom, that's what that. If you, I know I went into that quite a bit, but that's what I would do. If I had $1 million, that's how I would allocate it. That's straight up how I'd allocate it, because you always want to make sure you have money in your checking account. But you want to make sure that you have a portfolio that can constantly fund you at all freaking times. So that's how my portfolio kind of is now that I look at it. It's funny, no matter what the scale is in hypothetics, it seems that I still have the same type of allocation, even in this theory right here, even if having $1 million. So it gets kind of interesting there. Let's see. Let's take a look at the comments real quick. Yeah, funny and insightful says, yeah, 1 joule is roughly 20 cents. Oh, cool. Free joules. I appreciate it. Let's see. Mad Hatter says, the only true wealth you can have in civilization and life is the monopoly of force. On force, everything else can be acquired with said force. Interesting. It's a fascinating quote, Mad Hatter. I appreciate it. Tim Smith says, Jennison and makeup brush for 6 joules. What the hell did I miss? So I guess joules are like, I guess 1 joule is 20 cents or something like that. It's tough to say. I have no idea how this shit works, but let's see. How much time do we got here? 9:33. I'm probably gonna go to bed here in a bit, or at least start kind of winding down. See, funny and insightful, 450. Break it down to 2020, 30, liquid cash, S&P index fund, real estate, big securities. Yeah, interesting. Let's see. So liquid cash, S&P index fund, real. So here's the thing, man. I would have a variety of like ETFs that would expose me to different U.S. stocks. So it also would have a ton of individual stocks as well. So it just depends. But yeah, you always want to make sure you have cash. I just don't want to sit on like a ton of cash. Like I want to sit on enough was what I would do, because $50,000 in checking accounts way more than enough. And then $100,000 in high yield savings, that's perfect. But yeah, this is how I'd allocate. If you gave me $1 million, oh man, that's exactly how I'd allocate it. But yeah, let's see here. No, I love it when people in the chat do the hypotheticals, though. It's really cool. So I appreciate hypotheticals like that. It forces me to rethink a little bit. Maybe I'd switch it out a little bit. It's never an exact science. I mean, honestly, as long as you're diversified, you're pretty much good. I think as long as you're diversified in stocks at the bare minimum. Now, if you told me, here's something interesting. This is a good test. If you told me there was only one asset class I could ever invest in for the rest of my life, what one would I invest in? I would have to say probably stocks. If we're going with one asset class, I'd want to be exposed to every U.S. stock, every international stock, and that would be the asset class that I would be exposed to only if you gave me no other choice. I could only choose one asset class for life. I'm going to choose stocks, international and domestic, absolutely, because I prefer productive assets over anything else. As much as I love gold and silver, I think they're great. They're not productive assets. It's way better to own stocks and stocks at U.S. and international stocks overall, and remain diversified within those. I think that's the core asset class that I would feel very secure being part of, because if you're diversified across the board, you really have nothing to worry about if you're hyper diversified. So that's the asset class that I would choose if I had no other choice. Everything else is kind of secondary. That's why when I did this portfolio allocation, $400,000 basically went into stocks primarily. So actually, technically, $450,000 went into stocks one way or another, but it's pretty good, man. Hold on. Oh, gotta pop my neck. All right. Do the truffle shuffle, says hi on Jesus. Dallas Brady says, do you know anything about the Bible? A little bit here and there. Watchdogs the Beast said, asked me, do you believe in karma? Yeah, I don't know. Sometimes. I think karma is an interesting concept because I see there's tons of terrible people out there that get away with all sorts of things and never have to pay the price. So at the end of the day, I don't really know if karma exists. But it doesn't matter whether it does or not. Just still do the right thing whether it does or it doesn't, you know. You shouldn't need karma to figure out how to be a good person, you know. But I guess it gives some people incentive to be a good person, so why not? I mean, I think it's a nice idea, but in reality, who knows? Tim Smith says, "I believe in Klarna. I put a little Caesar's pizza on a payment plan." Oh man, dude, I remember Tim Dillon was talking about that. He was talking about how like we're getting into dystopian times basically because people are literally doing buy now pay later, or what was it? So buy now pay later plans on freaking DoorDash deliveries. Are you kidding me? Like like I understand if people need to do that, I get it. But if times are that bad that people are doing that sort of thing, man, we're living in weird times, man. But I understand if somebody needs to put a payment plan on a pizza, but I still think DoorDash is a bad idea. Is a bad like I mean I love delivering. The irony is I love delivering for DoorDash. I just think if you don't have the money, you shouldn't be getting DoorDash. Like it's just the way it's just the way it is, man. It's funny I deliver for them, but I never actually order DoorDash. That's the irony behind all of it. But yeah, I mean that's pretty much that's the way the notes roll. Did I miss anything? No, not really. MW asks, "Are you poor?" Well, I look it. I look like I'm dressed like a white guy trying to be black, but you know, whatever. But yeah, I look Look a little trashy right now. But yeah, overall, I think that we're kind of in weird dystopian times a little bit, just because it's getting to that point where people have to, if people really, I'm not gonna like judge anybody. By the way, I can't really judge anybody too harshly on it, but like, it's wild that we're getting to that time where things are so expensive. Do I guess I guess I do have the sideburns that America needs right now. I got a very classic men's haircut right now. Tim Smith is saying Garza has the sideburns America needs right now. Absolutely. I do look like a very poorly drawn character from the 80s right now, I feel like. Um, so that's how I feel with this haircut. um, yeah, that's pretty much it, brothers. Probably going to go lay down and do a little bit of reading, catch up on my reading. I still need to do more. I still need to do more product reviews though, because I've gotten to the point where it's like, what do you call it? Like 41, I think. Yeah, 41 product reviews, and I was trying to get to 100. That's kind of my goal, but I'm kind of running out of products in the house to review, which it's not too bad. Let's see. Tim Smith is asking a boomer Drew Garza. Probably. I wouldn't be surprised if a boomer drew me. I look like a boomer's wet dream. But, yeah, it's good shit, man. Let's see. I gotta tell everybody, get these little tiny composition notebooks. These things come in handy because they're so easy to put in your pocket. Like, I just slide it right in my pocket and then I'm ready to roll. I got my little mini composition book next to my phone in my pocket, man. That's the way to roll. But yeah, I definitely I'm a handwritten notes kind of guy. I love writing notes. Helps crystallize one's thoughts a little bit better. Allows people to really start thinking in a different way. So it's pretty good stuff. You guys are probably wondering what this is. So this is my Jack and Rose hair clippers. So check it out. You guys are gonna be assimilated. Hold on. So I actually don't have the clipper head on there right now. Probably put that on here in a little bit, but yeah, felt good to get my hair cut, and it's very easy to clean up too because it's all vacuum powered. So it's like it's a very simple device. I love it. But very true, my man. A boomer drew me, but I'm a little bit miffed at Hunter Biden, by the way, for going after George Clooney. Of all the people, I mean, like, look, George Clooney is a little bit of a leftist moron. I get it, but still a talented. I think he's a talented actor, and I think a very successful actor. And then we got Hunter Biden, who has been, leeching off of the taxpayer money. So Hunter Biden, you're a terrible person. Hunter Biden 2028. No, just kidding. Make sure you guys like the video, though. The more likes we have, the better. The more subscribers we have, the better. But more importantly, just please like the video. It helps us grow. Helps push us out in the algorithm. Also, check out the affiliate links if you can. Help support the channel in any way you can. We're really trying to boost the affiliate sales to do what we can, really. Seeing what we can pull off at least. But at the moment, I got nothing else. I am a little bit tired. I was really wanting to do a vertical live just because it's fun to get a hold of a new audience, but also always revisit with the audience that I really have grown to love and care about. You know, because when it comes to my audience, man, like, you know, I got my main guys. You know, the guys I really just like enjoy talking to. I got my boy Tim Smith. He's just, I consider Tim like a friend at this point, like almost like a cool pen pal. I know I never met Tim at all, but like I consider him at this point like like bros, dude. So I appreciate you, man, because we've been talking for a while, man. It's cool. It's like having a pen pal, except for like a text message pal, or just like being able to get on the internets together. So yeah, so it's gotten to the point, man, where I love being able to talk to like some really cool people. Like Yoggers is really cool to talk to. My boy Jim from Yoggers. I even got my boy TJ, who's recently, you know, been a part of the channel. I love talking to that dude. Um, you know, being able to really have like just fun conversations, just to chat. You know, it's really interesting to get to know everybody. So that's why I've been really trying my best to be more involved and do more of these live videos, because I really interacting with you guys is like half the, well, I wouldn't even say half the fun. It's like, I would say it's 80% of the fun. 80% of the fun is like really seeing your guys' reactions to everything and really talking to you guys, trying to, at least to the best of my ability, um, and just really interacting. But also I just, you know, that's why like I love sending like Tim a text message, be like, hey dude, check out this video, or he'll send me a text message or an email saying, hey dude, check out this video. So, you know, the friendships that I've established on here have been, well, virtual in nature, um, overall, but the people that I've been able to really grow close to in a lot of ways is just really cool. So from the bottom of my heart, I just want to thank you guys for you know, just being like it's like a group of people I can just talk to, you know, and have fun, just chilling with. Because I'm trying to, I like making this show a more personal show, not like, because I really, like I said, I'm really glad I'm monetized now, so I can actually do this show and not only make money, but also make money having fun with people, you know, having fun just interacting with people. So it matters a lot to me. Um, so I appreciate it, man. But of course, I still got my really, you know, my good friends, my Nathan, my Billy, um, incredible dudes. You know, I'm a lucky guy. But also, I do have my family, and you know, I'm a lucky dude. At the end of the day. All right, though, I am a little bit tired, you guys. So I will call it a night, and I don't know why I had to say all that. I just kind of was just speaking from the heart. You know, trying to speak from the heart at least, doing my best. But yeah. Oh, by the way, Tim, if you're still in the chat, dude, did you check out the? You probably already watched it, but did you check out the? First time I heard of this podcast, by the way, it's called the Danny Jones podcast. Danny Jones did an interview with our boy Gavin, Mr. McInnes, and it was pretty cool, dude. It was a sick interview, dude. It was good shit. It was interesting. But yeah, look up Danny when you can. Danny Jones, Gavin McInnes. It was a really interesting interview. I think it went on for like about an hour or so, roughly about that amount of time. But yeah, it's an interesting podcast, man. He kind of reminds me of like Joe Rogan before Joe Rogan sold out completely. Joe Rogan's still a good, decent podcast, but I feel like yeah, Danny Jones is an interesting fella, and yeah, definitely check out his stuff. And to anybody who's still listening, that is. But yeah, Tim, dude, check out. I mean, you probably already watched the interview, man. But yeah, Gavin being interviewed by this guy was a really fun interview too. Really interesting. So I felt like it was a very honest review conversation. So, um, all right, everybody. What else do I want to say? Well, I just want to say I'm tired. Tired as hell. But Thank you guys. I always these goodbyes for these videos are so long, but yeah, okay. I'm just gonna call it good on that one. But I'll catch you guys later, and peace out. A-Town down, and no more chats. No more chats, as far as I can see. All right, catch y'all later. Bye for now. See you on the next video. Fingers greasy. But yeah, you guys check out, like I said, Danny Jones, Gavin McInnes. It was a really interesting interview. Pretty dope. I'll catch you guys later. Bye.